How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Flesh and Blood video here on Red Zone Rogue. Today, well, let's talk about Briar. We have a lot to say about this new hero, from my personal feelings about the hero. I think she's awesome, by the way. I think she's freaking awesome. To community reaction, to just Runeblade as a class, and how it hints at bigger things to come for Flesh and Blood. I think it really shows the design space and the versatility of the talent system. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about some other stuff first. So before we get started, I do want to mention that if you are looking to pick up some Flesh and Blood products, specifically maybe some Tales of Aria First Edition, go ahead and check out my affiliate link with Channel Fireball. Using that link goes and supports me, and I greatly appreciate it. And currently at $175, they're one of the better places to buy online. Or you know what? Go buy from your local game store. So with all that out of the way, let's start talking about Briar. So there's so much to talk about here. There's so much to unpack here. I'm just going to cover the elephant in the room first, and that's like the fact that she's a Runeblade hero. I think that's really cool from an overall standpoint, from a flavor standpoint. We're going to go into that in pretty big detail here, but I would be lying if I said that I wasn't a little bit disappointed. I personally was really hoping for an illusionist or a wizard, and I know so many people out there who watch this channel in the Flesh and Blood community were really hoping for support for some of the, how I should say, I don't want to say underdeveloped, but less supported classes like wizard, and we just had illusionist, but illusionist is also a fairly undersupported class just because their card pool is very small. So I understand, you know, I understand 100%. I'm there with you. I wanted wizard. I called for wizard in my prediction video. Illusionist also made sense. It all made sense for Aria too. But I don't think it's healthy to dwell on what ifs and, you know, what we don't have. So instead, let's focus on what we actually do have. And what we do have is a really cool hero, like a really cool hero, Briar, Warden of Thorns. And in this video, we're not going to go into like details and mechanics and all that kind of stuff. We're just going to talk about Briar from an overall standpoint, right? We're going to go into details in the next video when I talk about spoilers and how all the cards like interact. But this one, I just really wanted to talk about Briar because I see so many people upset or disappointed or salty or whatever you want to call it in the Flesh and Blood community because we have another Runeblade hero. A lot of people are saying 3 sets in a row. That's not true. It's 2 sets in a row because we had Arcane Rising and then Crucible of War, which had some heroes in it. No Runeblade heroes, but then we had Monarch, and then we had obviously Tales of Aria here. What I really like about this is it shows the versatility of the talent system, because she is an elemental Runeblade hero, but she's so much different than Viserai or Chain, where they're all like these dark, almost necromantic heroes, where they have like this whole like morbid, visceral flavor. I mean, the dude's name is Viserai. I mean, come on. So she's like an entirely other take. She's like a warden, a protector of nature, and she's badass, dude. Like, just look at her. She's so cool. She looks like she's gonna absolutely wreck you if you try to mess with her. And I really like her design. I really like the art. Like, I don't think people would be upset if they put her in like 2 sets from now or something like that, you know? So, you know, to space it out a little bit. And Runeblade now has, you know, 3 heroes, and we have some other classes that also have 3 heroes. You know, we have 3 ninjas, we have 3 brutes, we have 3 warriors. They're not all for classic constructed, but just character wise, we have that many characters per that class, and now we have that for Runeblade. The big difference is that Runeblade, you can play them all in classic constructed. I think they're all going to play vastly different, and I think they're all going to be like quite different in terms of how you build them and how you play them, just as a fundamental level. Like, if you look at Briar and then you look at Chain, they're like so different. It's like night and day. Literally, like, the color palette is like night and day between the 2 characters. And I think that's really important to note, because I think it just, like I said, I've said this a couple times, it really shows the diversity of the talent system, and it really shows to me, as a fan of Flesh and Blood and as a player, how different the classes can be from one talent to another, right? So we can see maybe in the future, like, I'm just gonna come up with something off the top of my head, like maybe maybe Metrics has like a tech low, maybe tech low or technology or something is their talent, right? And we have like a tech low warrior, and it's like a big mech or something, you know, just something like that. It shows that it doesn't, the classes aren't cut and dry, basically is what I'm getting at, and there's a lot of diversity to them. And I think as the game expands and as I think the game grows, there's going to be so much more diversity to the classes and to just your options in general, and I love that. I absolutely love that. It's actually going to be kind of weird playing with Briar and then playing like a read the runes or something, because it's so different, right? Like totally different, because you can play like read the runes in a Briar deck, and it's, I don't know, I still think it's very interesting, and it shows that this class, Runeblade, is literally like a melee fighter that has, you know, ancient runes engraved upon their weapon. And in this case, she's got like these nature runes engraved upon her weapon. And it's just, I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. So I know a lot of people are going to ask, you know, what is all of the new Runeblade support? And here we'll show off one here. What is all the new Runeblade support going to do for like the big boogeyman chain and like Viscera and all this kind of stuff? I think people are overreacting a little bit. I don't think Chain is going to be as big as he is after Aria. I have a strong feeling that he's really going to be put into check by a lot of the mechanics present in Aria. You know, this is a situation where it's like, just wait and see what happens. We haven't even seen the whole set at the time of me recording this, but I've played card games for so long, and you see this often. You know, anytime there's something powerful, there's a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of people, there's a certain segment of the community that's all like doom and gloom. It's really easy to just be negative and to immediately say, oh, something's busted, something's overpowered. Chain is really good. Chain is really good, but he's not like 100% win ratio, right? He's good, but, and I think he might be too good, but I think stuff here can really put him in check, and I would not be surprised if he just becomes just like a regular top tier hero and not like the boogeyman. Like I said, this is a situation where I think the most tempered approach is just to wait and see how it is. Flesh and Blood, Legend Story Studios have a mechanic built into the game where if one of the heroes is too strong, then they just get yeeted. Dude, they get retired. No one can play with them in sanctioned tournaments. So if Chain is that good, then he will, you know, eventually get retired. Which kind of sucks for people who have like Shadow Runeblade stuff, but hopefully within a supplementary set they introduce another Shadow Runeblade that's not quite as good as Chain. So I don't think people should be talking about how like the sky is falling or anything like that. Personally, like I said, I am also disappointed. You know, I'm with you. I am disappointed that we didn't see a Wizard. I was really hoping for Wizard. Out of all of the classes, out of everything, I wanted Wizard. I wanted to see some Wizard support. I wanted to see a really cool new like Nature Wizard or something like that. But keep in mind, we do know that Wizard is James White's, the creator of Flesh and Blood's, favorite class. And you think the creator's favorite class is going to be left high and dry for very long? I suspect we will see some really sweet Ranger stuff within the year or so. Well, not this year, maybe next year, but you see what I'm saying though. Like, it's his favorite class. We're probably going to see something really spicy. So that gives me hope. And, you know, I basically just want to go away from this video giving you a lot of hope. I know people are disappointed. We have another Runeblade here. And I know people are disappointed that Chain can use cards like Sutcliffe's Suede Hides, which I don't even think is that great for Chain. Chain's probably just going to run the other one, the Snapdragon Scalers. And I know I haven't talked about it yet, but I know there's that majestic Runeblade weapon, like Dusk Blade or whatever. That's pretty good for Chain, right? But I think we should temper our expectations. And, you know, I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think there's a lot of hope. Even if you like are like, yo, Chain's busted or whatever, I think there's a lot of hope for the future of this game because of stuff like this elemental Runeblade hero. Like, take her in a vacuum. Get rid of Chain. Don't think about Chain. Think about her in a vacuum. She's freaking awesome. And the flavor and the mechanics are so different than any of the other Runeblades. It gives me so much hope for the future of the class system and the talent system in Flesh and Blood. And I feel that that's really overshadowed by people just being disappointed that we get another Runeblade hero. I didn't think we'd get another Runeblade hero for a long time, to be honest. Like, it surprised me. Like, it was completely out of left field. I predicted the other two classes pretty easily, and I was like pretty confident that we'd see like Wizard or something, but nope, we have Briar. And I really like Briar. Like I said, I really like Briar. I think she's a cool character. I think she's going to be a very played character, and I think people are going to love her. I think people new to the game are going to love her. People who like are coming into the game at Tales of Aria are going to look at these 3 new heroes. They're going to see Lexi, Briar, and Oldhim, and they're going to find one that they love, because I think they're all really, really awesome characters with really cool flavor. And I think there's like something here for you, whether you like big burly dudes, or you like the more like whimsical, playful Lexi, or you like Briar, who looks like she's gonna run you through with her big old thorny sword. But yeah, basically that's the topic of today. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. I know so many of you out there are disappointed like me, but like I said, I think it's more healthy to look at what we have rather than dwell on what we don't have. And that's just the kind of a life lesson in general. I think that's just a healthy way to think about things and to approach things. And, you know, if you do that, then you can better look at the big picture, you know? And I have a lot of hope that we will eventually get a really cool new wizard. I hope it's not in Volcor. I hope we get a really different flavored wizard. Maybe like a Mysterio, like a wind wizard. Oh, dude, that would be really cool. It's fun to speculate about stuff like that, but I have faith we'll get one. And I really like Briar, and I really like what Tales of Aria is doing. Tales of Aria is like, overall, is just really slowing the game down. Oldhim is really chunky and defensive, and I think that kind of gameplay, coupled with like these Frostbite tokens, coupled with all of this other stuff, can really give Chain a run for his money. I really think so. Once again, time will tell, but I do not look forward to playing these really grindy, stall-out type decks, because I think they're going to be a thing. Especially with Lexi, and especially with Oldhim. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you liked the discussion. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time for some more Flesh and Blood content here on Red Zone Rogue. Have a good one all. We'll see you later.